a song and a song of ice and fire books. These are 5 book series by George Martin, which are so epic that I just had to read them. So the first time that I came across the song of Ice and Fire, it's when now at that time I was watching Game of Thrones. So this was back in 2017 up to 2019. So at that time I was watching Game of Thrones, and now for me Game of Thrones was so captivating, so compelling, and I really loved the show. And when I heard that there was a book upon which the series was based on, for me it was a must read for me. So there are 5 things that I find that in the series of these books of A Song and Ice and Fire, there are 5 things that make this book so epic. And now the first thing is that the amount of detail that George Martin gives in terms of the skins that he creates, and also in terms of the characters that are in that book. So what George Martin does is that he creates this vivid description of what is going on in such a way that it paints a picture in your mind that you can just read the book, and now you can just, if you know how to draw, you can just start drawing. If it is a character, you can draw the character. If it is a setting, you can also kind of picture the setting in your mind, and also you can also put it on paper. That's because of the amount of details that it gives in the scenes and also in the characters. The second thing about this book is that it has a very dramatic kind of way of storytelling. So, like it's not the normal kind of story you will read that you will find that the story that here you already know the protagonist, you already know who the villain is, and now just a matter of time before you reach the end. But now in Game of Thrones, in the A Song of Ice and Fire, it is so different in that, yes, from time to time it gives you clues like a kind of foretelling, but now it doesn't make it so exact that you can kind of predict what's going to happen. So you are in such a situation that you know something is about to happen, but you don't know exactly how that thing will happen. And now what happens is that most of the time it kind of surprises you, like when you predict something that this will happen, it end up something entirely different happening. So it has a dramatic way of storytelling, and also in terms of how the book picks up pace. Like now, the moment Ed Tuck dies now, that is when now everything just picks up a very frantic pace, and now the stories are just so captivating in that you cannot just put down the book. Like, you just want to keep reading and keep reading. The sad thing about this book is that it creates a kind of mysteriousness in the book. So mysteriousness in terms of its foretelling, and also mysteriousness in terms of how it makes you look at the leader. So it doesn't give you access to what the leader is thinking or what the options they are considering. But what it does is it just tells you that the leader has done this, the leader has done that. So you don't know like what's going on in the mind of the reader. So that is the other thing about the book. And now by doing that now you get fascinated by the leaders that are in the book, in that you are awed by the amount of action that they take, and also in terms of how they think about things. But now it is like you are on the receiving end of it. It's like now you are on the defensive. So like you give the leaders this kind of offensives that you don't know what will happen next. Like you don't know what the leader will do next. You don't know what the leader is thinking about what is going on. But what happens is that you just see the action, and now after you see the action now is when now you realize, hey, the leader was thinking about things this way. The first thing about this book is that the compounding effect it has about the decisions that people make and now about the events that follow after that decision has been made. So what happens is that when one person makes a decision, all the other people end up reacting to that decision. And now, based on the characters or based on the details of a specific character, sometimes you can kind of predict what they will do in terms of reacting to that. But now, even if you tell how they will be reacting, you don't know how events will go. And now it kind of have a surprising way of twisting of event in that that's when you think one thing will happen, something else ends up happening and now, or someone does something out of unexpected and now that ends up changing entirely the trajectory of the story that is going on. The fifth thing about this book is that, of course, there's a reason why it was adapted by HBO as a TV series, now in the name of Game of Thrones. So there's a reason that a book a book series can reach that level. And now the reason is mostly because the book has so much potential that even if it is made into a TV show, it can be still captivating for the audience. So that is the last thing about the book. So the five things are first of all the details that Martin gives in the books. So this is in terms of screens, not screens, but screens, and also in terms of the character traits and the characters' appearances. The second thing about the book is that it has a dramatic storytelling way. Third thing about the book is that it is mysterious in the way it presents its leaders and also in terms of it is very surprising and now you never know what will happen in the next moment. The fourth thing that makes this book special is that the compounding effect of decisions and events that end up creating a kind of a spiral that now one thing happens, one small thing happens, but now the effect ends up being so big. Now the final thing is that, of course, there's a reason why the book series was adapted for TV by HBO. Now that's all for today, and I'll see you next week. So bye bye. PDM.